oh, oh, uh, I'm out of town, thuggin' with my round. My coochie pink, my booty hole brown. Where the niggas? I'm looking for the hoes. Quit playing nigga, cause suck a bitch soul. Pound town, just left Pound town. Let my nigga, he just took a bitch down. Yeah, that nigga dick a bitch down. Yeah, that nigga eat me out. Pound town, just left Pound town. Let my nigga, he just took a bitch down. Yeah, that nigga dick a bitch down. Yeah, that nigga eat me out. I'm out here in my bend that ass over, let that coochie breathe. Shake that ass, bitch. Hands on your knees, hands on your knees, hands on your knees. Shake that ass for Drake, now shake that ass for me. Bend that ass over, let that coochie breathe. Shake that ass, bitch. Hands on your knees, hands on your knees, hands on your knees. Shake that ass for Drake, now shake that ass for me.
I still got some.
Okay, I'm back. This another episode of Proof That Astrology is Real. I believe this episode 19, it should be. So we in Aries season, so I'm still doing the Aries, like I said in my last video. So today we doing none other than Sexy Red. You know, Aries, y'all got a claimer. Y'all got a claimer, and she do show a lot of Aries traits, which I'm gonna get into. So, I figure who else better to do, because I just did Big Sean, so I wanted to do a female. I was gonna do Mariah Carey. I think I still am later on, like the video after next, because next gonna be another male Aries, and then I'm gonna do another female, which will probably be Mariah Carey. But I wanted to do Sexy Red, because she been a topic of discussion. She been influencing female rap for the worst end. Whether you like her or not, she's somebody that everybody got opinion on. So, she made her way that way, love her or hate her. She definitely made a way for herself and then went viral and, became famous or whatever like that. So I figure who else better to do a video on than Sexy Red, because Sexy Red talked about a lot because of her personality and the way that she acts. So with her being the Aries and then looking at her chart, I wanted to see if that can explain why she is the way that she is for the most part. So before I get into it, like I always do, I want to file a disclaimer, and I want to tell why I made this channel. First, why I made this channel. I made this channel to bring better insight and help bring better knowledge to astrology, because astrology has become a big topic. Everybody know what their zodiac sign is. When you meet somebody, it's become common for somebody to ask when your birthday, what's your sign, to see if y'all compatible or not. A lot of people believe in it, and then a lot of people don't. So, and come to find out, most people who don't believe in it is because they haven't did no research or looked into it. And then there's a lot of people who do believe in it, but they only know like the surface level of astrology, like what their zodiac sign is and what zodiac sign they don't like based on somebody who they dated. So it's much deeper than that. So I wanted to dive more into it to help people get a better understanding of it. And I figure what better way to do that than to use celebrities, people that we know, and we get a glimpse into their personality and their life. So that's my reason for making the channel, to help people understand astrology better and to kind of sway some of the naysayers, because of course I'm somebody who's been doing research and been studying astrology for like 3-4 years now. I always knew what astrology was since high school. I knew what my sign was and my sign traits, but I really deep into it a couple years ago to look into like what it is, like what really is astrology, and digging into each and every sign and all of the traits and all of the stuff that it says about it. So I figured, I wanted to bring knowledge to other people, because I hate when people speak on astrology and they haven't done no research or they don't know what they're talking about. And then also for my disclaimer, I wanted to say, because a lot of people don't believe in astrology because they wonder why they don't act like another person who the same sign as them, or some of the traits of a sign, they say, oh, I don't act like that. And I wanted to break that down because everybody has their own birth chart that's gonna make them unique and different than somebody else. Just because you have the same zodiac sign as somebody else don't mean that you're going to act exactly like them, because you probably got a different moon sign, a different rising sign, etc. Unless you was born at the same day and time as somebody, y'all gonna have a different birth chart, meaning that y'all gonna act different to a certain degree. And then even if you is born at the same exact time as somebody have the same birth chart, your personality is shaped by, how you was raised, your parents, your background, your race, the country you was born in. Of course, all of that is going to shape your personality also. If you somebody born in America versus somebody who was born in Asia, you going to act different just based off your cultural background and the way that your surroundings and how you was raised, your parents, how your parents raised you and how your parents was this also gonna shape who you is as a person. So I always wanted to get into that. Like, of course, astrology doesn't tell 100% your personality of who you is. It does give a basic archetype, and it could tell some of the similarities and some of the traits of you. But how you was raised is definitely gonna tell a lot about who you are as a person. And I feel like if you combine your birth chart, if you combine astrology with how you was raised and your background, you could tell a lot about who a person is and how they would act. So I wanted to get that out the way. So yeah, so let's get into it. Breaking down Sexy Red chart, now that I got that out the way. Oh, where is she at? Okay, so here we go. So if you don't know who Sexy Red is, Sexy Red is a famous rapper. She became big like a year or two ago for making music, and her music is considered like ratchet music. And that's how she kind of became big, for her songs being real explicit and real like ratchet in nature and real sexual, is what kind of made her blow up. And she got a different type of music. It's hip hop, and hip hop have a lot of negativity and a lot of talk about a lot of ignorant stuff, but hers then took it up kind of to a next level. So that's Sexy Red. She a female rapper. So Sexy Red was born April 15th, 1998, and she 25, about to turn 26. So let's get into her chart. So of course, Sexy Red is an Aries. So her sun is in Aries, her moon is in Sagittarius, her Mercury is in Aries, her Venus is in Pisces, her Mars is in Taurus, Jupiter is in Pisces, her Saturn is in Aries, her Uranus is in Aquarius, her Neptune is in Aquarius, her Pluto is in Sagittarius, her North Node is in Virgo, her Length is in Libra, and then her rising is a Cancer. So let's get into it. So Sexy Red, as we know, her sun is in Aries. Like I always say, your sun, moon, and rising sign is considered your big three. Them the three most important things when it comes to determining your personality. When it comes to astrology, like I always say, your sun sign is your outer self, the way that you think was shown to the world. Your moon sign is the deeper you, the hidden version of yourself, your feelings. And then your rising sign is your social personality. It's how people view you and look at you in the world. It represents like your physical body style, your outward personality. Is what your rising sign is. So right off rip with Sexy Red sun being in Aries. Aries is a fire sign. So just like all fire signs, like Sagittarius and Leo, they associated with being outgoing, brave, having a temper. That's where the fire come from, having a fiery personality, Yeah, like I said, being brave and outgoing. Now, what's exclusive to being the Aries? Aries is known for being impulsive, aggressive, blunt, straightforward, and having a lot of energy and being a go-getter and outgoing. Aries is ruled by Mars. Every planet rules a different sign. So Mars is the planet of aggression and sexuality. So that's going to be associated with Aries. And then to a certain degree, Mars is also ruled by Scorpio, but Scorpio is also ruled by Pluto. So some signs is ruled by two planets before they ended up getting their own planet. So certain traits is going to be associated with Scorpio also, but for the most part, Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, and Mars and Aries rules Mars for the most part. So yeah, with Aries being ruled by Mars, so Aries is going to be the most aggressive sign and one of the most sexual signs because it's associated with Mars, like I said, the planet of aggression and sexuality. So most Aries is going to be aggressive in nature and real like sexual people, who, just like Sexy Red is, who love to have sex, talk about sex, and have a bunch of different sexual partners and stuff like that. So that's what associated with being the Aries. Also, what's associated with being the Aries, what else? Aries is also associated with being well, I basically just said everything that Aries is associated with being, like, brave, outgoing, impulsive, blunt, straightforward, having a temper. Oh, Aries is also associated with being selfish. A lot of Aries can be selfish and only care about they self and how they feel. A lot of Aries. What else about Aries? A lot of Aries is they rule by what is it? The Ram. So a lot of Aries is like strong-headed, don't like to listen. So them all things that's associated with being Aries. So I'm gonna read some of the breakdown that they give of what an Aries would be like. So it says Aries can be inspirational, courageous, enthusiastic, original, independent, impatient, aggressive, headstrong, selfish, self-centered, and impulsive. The Aries energies are directed toward building a new individuality. All Aries energies are directed towards themselves and what they want. And Aries likes roles where their leadership abilities are put on display. Aries have an exclusive and organizing ability, which is mainly directed in starting things. Substantiating projects is not their strength, but initiating projects is. The tendency to dam the torpedoes and ram full speed ahead must be controlled. Aries are capable of great accomplishments if they learn how to constructively use their abundant energy. Aries are naturally enthusiastic and are always ready for activity and competition. They are inspiring to others because of these tendencies. Ideas and creative projects seem to flow from them in a never-ending stream. They are full of energy and never lack courage. Because Aries can be pretty self-centered, they must remember that other people may have good ideas and can assume responsibility and leadership roles too. The natural tendency for Aries is to stand alone and to do everything themselves. But cooperation with others can be very effective in getting things done to the end rather than simply starting things and quitting before completion. Aries have a tendency to start a project, then suddenly lose interest in it if progress is too slow or if things have become too complicated. Aries are very straightforward neither are neither subtle or devious. They say what's on their mind and they pull no punches. They don't hold grudges, and although they can be quite angry, they do not hold it in and stew about what bothers them. They blow in and out like some great Midwestern thunderstorm. It may be violent while it lasts, but it is usually over quickly. Aries are prone to headaches due to tension. Aries are usually aggressive in relationships and generally take the lead. They go after what interests them, and they chase, and the chase may be more fun than the conquest. Four things that Aries should learn are patience, con, cons, conservation of energy, completion, and control of temper. So yeah, so that's all things that have to do with the Aries, for sure. So how that relates to Sexy Red, as we know, all of these things can speak to why Sexy Red is the way that she is. Definitely display, she blunt in the way that she is. She definitely her own person. That's what some people like about, like they said, original and independent, courageous to say the things and to do the things that she does. She definitely got an outgoing personality. I can definitely see her being impulsive, with a lot of things. As far as her starting projects and not finishing them, I could see that a lot, because I was just talking about how Sexy Red, she done made songs, but she haven't dropped the album yet. And then she hasn't really put out a full project yet. She had just put out songs here and there and be on features and stuff like that. Kind of like I was saying with Big Sean before, how Big Sean start projects, but big, like, he not known for like completing and putting out a lot of albums and a lot of projects. So that can speak to, them being Aries. If they good at the start, just like how Big Sean, when he first started, he was hot and putting out a lot of music, but then he kind of slowed down. The same with how Sexy Red is now. Um, what else? Um, she, of course, very straightforward. Um, aggressive, like to take the lead and stuff. So all of this has the temper, like all of this speaks to Sexy Red personality, for sure. And the way that she is, her being that the way she is, she definitely a Aries for sure, or a fire sign, because I knew that she would for sure have some fire in her chart. Which brings us to her moon sign, which is Sagittarius, which is another fire sign. The difference between Sagittarius is known for being blunt also, just like Aries. I say that Aries and Sagittarius, and I would say Aquarius is probably the three most blunt and straightforward signs that just say how they feel and don't care what people think. Sagittarius love to travel the world. They known for traveling. What else? Sagittarius. They known for having a big ego. They known for a lot of Sagittarius is intellectual, can be spiritual, can be like preachers. A lot of Sagittarius is very outgoing, can be very impatient and impulsive also, like other fire signs. And then Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, the planet of luck. A lot of Sagittarius can have good luck, the planet of higher learning. So a lot of Sagittarius can seek out learning new things. It's the Jupiter, the sign that, like I said, travel. So a lot of Sagittarius like traveling. Um, and what else? An expansion, and just like, expanding and doing different things. So them all things that have to associated with being a Sagittarius. And Sagittarius is mutable fire. So it's going to be, Sagittarius going to be open to being in a lot of different situations, relationships. A lot of Sagittarius change jobs a lot, change relationships a lot. Like mutable signs is considered the chameleons. They ever changing and adapting to new ways of doing things. Aries is cardinal, so they initiate and known to do their own thing. Like they the spark, like they the ones that will do something new and be the first ones to try something different. So that's what the Aries is, like the difference between being cardinal and mutable sign. So with her sun and moon sign being both in fire signs, Aries and Sagittarius, and then I actually know a couple people who are Aries and Sagittarius, like my brother is one, Suge Knight, who I'm gonna get into, is also another one. And what you notice was anybody who has a sun and a moon both in fire signs, because I know some Sagittarius with an Aries moon also, like the rapper The Game is one. I got a friend who is Sagittarius with the Aries moon, and then I got a friend that's a Sagittarius with a Sagittarius moon, and then I dated a couple Aries with Aries moons. So what I noticed is that of course, they gonna have a double fiery personality. Anybody with a sun and moon, because the way they think and they feel gonna be that of a fire sign. So they gonna be double impulsive. They gonna be double outgoing. They gonna be, like they gonna be like real, like all of the fire traits is gonna be definitely on display. If you know somebody with a sun and moon with a fire sign, they definitely gonna be impulsive, blunt, straightforward. They definitely gonna have a sense of humor, because that's another thing that Aries and and Sagittarius have in common. They both funny people. They like to tell jokes, and a lot of Aries and Sagittarius are comedians. A lot of both gonna be brave. Somebody who has a sun and moon and fire signs gonna be brave, and they gonna have an outgoing, always on the go personality for the most part. So that's what the sun and moon in combination gonna do. Then of course for Sexy Red, that's why she's so outgoing and out there with her personality. She got a sun and moon fire sign, so she got a fiery, out there personality. That's why she always dancing and stuff like that. So it says about Moon and Sagittarius. It says Sexy Red is independent, outspoken, open, generous, enthusiastic, idealistic, inspired, and optimistic. And these qualities attract many friends and acquaintances. Sexy Red seems to thrive on travel, sociability, fellowship, and expressing her opinions to whoever will listen. In addition, she is adventurous, playful, freedom-loving, and always ready for a good time. Sexy Red rarely allows difficulties to keep her down. So I see this all with Sexy Red, and that is that if a Sagittarius, I always say, like I made a video about every sign, weakness and strength, and then I said that Sagittarius' biggest weakness is their biggest strength, and that's their optimism. Like Sagittarius is optimistic to a fault sometimes, but it's also good because having an optimistic view on life is good. You always seeing the positive, but on the negative side, they can be too optimistic, and that's what leads them to always like switching jobs and switching partners. So I know that's why, like I said, Sagittarius is known for switching jobs and switching partners a lot, because they always got an optimistic view on life, thinking like, oh, this next job gonna be better, or oh, this next person that I find gonna be better than the last. And sometimes that is true, but sometimes that can be detrimental, because we know having the grass is greener on the other side mentality can be negative and positive, but it could be negative to where you always looking for something better, and you might have already had the best thing for you, or you could leave a job that was good for you thinking that you're going to get a better one, and then you never do. So that's something to think about. Sexy Red rarely allows difficulties to keep her down, for no matter how bleak the past or present, she always expects a brighter, brighter future. In fact, she is uncomfortable with her own or others' problems and emotional pain. Sexy Red often tries to cheer up or offer physiological advice to those who are hurting, but unwillingly she avoids or ignores the emotions involved. Friendship means a great deal to her, perhaps even more than love or romance. For Sexy Red to be happy, her mate must be her best friend and encourage her aspirations and ideals. Sexy Red also needs a great deal of emotional freedom and mobility. On the negative side, Sexy Red may be rather intolerant, closed-minded, dogmatic, arrogant, non-objective, risk-taking, or possesses a holier-than-thou attitude, which is all true. And Nicki Minaj is a Sagittarius, and I always say she acts like a Sagittarius when it comes to being like arrogant and a holier-than-thou attitude. But then I could also see a lot of this with Sexy Red also. Her being risk taking, of course, a lot of stuff she did was risk taking, the songs and music and the stuff that she did. So, all of this is true and speaks to Sexy Red personality for sure. Now, her Mars is in Aries, her Mercury is in Aries, so that explains a lot also. So Mercury is the planet of communication. It's the way that you communicate and your communicating style is also how you process information. So it's ruled by Gemini and Virgo. So people who have a Mercury and Gemini and Virgo gonna tend to be the best speakers. But hers is in Aries, so that means that her communication style is going to be aggressive, blunt, and straightforward, which it is, which makes sense. The way that she talked, the way her talking, the way that she talk is that of an Aries. Why so blunt and straightforward and aggressive and impulsive. So it says Mercury and Aries. Sexy Red is outspoken and direct in speech and actions, which is true. Sexy Red thoughts are original and filled with enthusiasm and great energy. Sexy Red loves a good argument or debate and likes to compete and strategize with her mind. Sexy Red says what she means and doesn't pull any punches. Sexy Red is opinionated and loves to share those opinions, even if not asked to do so. Sexy Red loves controversy and might need to develop a little more tact in how she expresses her own thoughts. So that's definitely can see that with the controversy. Sexy Red mind is restless and filled with much nervous energy. It is hard for her to sit still. Sexy Red always has to be busy, especially with her hands. Mechanical ability may be present. Sexy Red thoughts and words are quick and impulsive, and she may at times suffer from foot in the mouth disease. So a lot of times she's gonna stay step that put her foot in the mouth, which is also true. It's possible that executing Sexy Red goals requires a lack of patience and focus. Sexy Red popularity stems from her quick wit and engaging nature. Sexy Red doesn't like to be told how to do things and wants the freedom to do things her own way. There never seems to be enough time to do all the things Sexy Red has on her mind. Sexy Red may be quick-tempered, but hardly ever carry a grudge. Sexy Red gets over things quickly, then moves on. So that's all true about Sexy Red for sure. So also explaining her personality to the T. Her Venus is in Pisces. So Venus is the planet of love, beauty, and harmony, ruled by Libra and Taurus. So Venus, for the most part, gonna control your love life and your partnership. So a lot of people look to astrology for compatibility, and they usually look at the sun signs. Now your sun sign can and your moon sign can tell a lot about who you should date, because if y'all compatible with sun signs, that means that y'all gonna think the same. If your moon sign is compatible, that means that y'all gonna feel the same, which matters a lot. But then your Venus rules your partnership and how you love. So a lot of times you can look at your Venus sign to tell who you should be with, and because it's basically like your love language. So hers is in Pisces. So it says Venus in Pisces. Sexy Red affections are expressed in sympathetic, compassionate, soft-hearted, romantic ways. Sexy Red unselfishly gives of herself to those she loves or to those who need to ask for help. Sexy Red may be a sucker for any sort of sob story and perhaps get too much at times, which makes some overly dependent on Sexy Red. Sexy Red is very idealistic in matters of love, and this sometimes plays itself out whereby she becomes the martyr or the savior in relationships. Sexy Red tends to be more compassionate than passionate, and she becomes involved with others because they need love or need to be saved, and she wants to help them rather than out of mutual attraction or pleasure. Sexy Red attracts and is attracted to those who are sensitive, imaginative, or musically or artistically inclined. Sexy Red desires is to find someone she can have a deep spiritual relationship with. Sexy Red idealizes love and has a very beautiful romantic vision of what love can be. At times, she can simply be in love with love. Sexy Red may be highly emotional, perhaps overly so, sensitive, artistic, compassionate, gentle, and psychic. Sexy Red can be too easygoing or submissive and allow herself to be taken advantage of because she doesn't does not want other people to feel let down, and she doesn't like to make waves. Sexy Red may have the attitude that somehow she must suffer in love and do so willingly. So I can see that a lot with Sexy Red, while she always talking about her baby daddies and she always choosing the wrong dudes, jailbird dudes. She say that she done been with, and liking the worst type of dudes. And that's definitely a Pisces for sure, and a Pisces and Venus. Like it says that she gonna be attracted to people who have side stories. She gonna like to see the best in people, which always lead her to date the wrong person and be connected with the wrong people. So yeah, that can speak to a lot to why she deal with the wrong people and be in the wrong relationships, trying to see the best in people um and things like that, and then always getting taken advantage of and used and stuff like that. So her Venus in Pisces definitely tells the truth and speaks on that for sure. Um, Her Mars is in Taurus. So, like I said, Mars is ruled by Aries and it's the planet of aggression and sexuality. So, with hers being in Taurus, just like I think Big Sean's was in Taurus. So, most people who have a Mars in Taurus, because Taurus is known for being materialistic and dealing with material things, but then it also deals with like other earth signs being stable when it comes to a job, career, and relationship. So, her main goal is going to be money and material things, and then being in a steady relationship, which we could see with Sexy Red, where she always talking about money and caring about money and carrying money around with her. A lot of people who have a Mars and Taurus is going to be materialistic from what I've been seeing. So it says Mars and Taurus. Once she set her mind on a goal, her dedication, determination, and commitment to it are extraordinary. Sexy Red never gives up and finds it difficult to change her mind or course in midstream. Whatever she has set her sights on, she refuses to give up or let go of it. Sexy Red is loyal to a fault. Unless someone betrays her trust, then all hell can break loose. Sexy Red is patient and usually slow to anger unless someone takes her too far. That is when she charged, just like the bull Taurus stands for. Sexy Red is reliable and consistent and can handle more of the workload than most around her. Sexy Red prefers a regular routine with definite hours and clearly defined responsibility and tasks. Sexy Red enjoys building and seeing the results of her hard work. Things she can put her hands on appeal to Sexy Red. Sexy Red needs to see practical results, not theory, and she is not satisfied with intangibles like just having a good time. At the same time, Sexy Red has a lazy, comfort-loving side, and there is often a good deal of in trying for her to overcome before she gets going. Once Sexy Red gets the momentum going, her energy level is strong and steady. Keeping things going is her strength, especially once someone else starts them. Material well-being and security are large factors in determining what she does. Sexy Red's stamina and persistence is her great strength, but it can also work against she can't get caught in a rut and refuse to seize new opportunities. Sexy Red also tends to play it safe and limit herself in that way. Change scares her. So do disease and pain. At times, Sexy Red has a decided stubborn streak where no one can reach her. Sexy Red possessiveness and jealousy may cause issues in her relationships. Sexy Red values money and belongings because they provide her with a sense of security. Reconsider her priorities. It's important to foster a culture of sharing. Sexy Red tongue may be a handful at times. So yeah, like I said, all of these things expect the Sexy Red and why she like I said, materialistic and have a sense of security, and then to a certain degree and a positive is why she can be hard working and a go-getter towards the things that she wants. And then her being the Aries kind of balance out some of these tourist things, like her being lazy, and then scared of change. Because we know that Aries is all about moving forward and being about change. So yeah, that's her Mars at Taurus. Like I said, so that speaks to like her seeking security and material things, which she does. So her Jupiter is in Pisces. Like I said, Jupiter is ruled by Sagittarius and already ruled over, talked about what Jupiter rules. So hers is in Pisces, which I already explained what Pisces is, a mutable water sign. So since our Jupiter in Pisces, Sexy Red needs for growth and expansion are perhaps best satisfied when she is working to help raise mankind to a higher spiritual level. Sexy Red recognizes that we are all in this together, and what is bad for one is bad for all. Sexy Red is sympathetic, charitable, gentle, unassuming, quiet, visionary, intuitive, with a subtle sense of humor. Sexy Red has an interest in spiritual or metaphysical ideas and issues, but she needs to find her own path and experience truth for herself, periodically retreating from society and the people closest to Sexy Red is good for her nerves and her own mental health. The strong desire she has to help others comes out in her willingness to help the unfortunate. Perhaps the volunteers in hospitals, jails, or other places of confinement. Sexy Red gives hope to those who need it the most. Sexy Red probably loves nature and large animals, especially horses. There may be an interest in healing on the negative side. Sexy Red may be hypersensitive, over emotional, too sentimental, have a tendency to extravagate or to be extravagant or self-indulgent. So how this relate to Sexy Red, what I noticed is that like people been saying a lot that she been volunteering a lot at hospitals and schools. Like that's why she just was in the media because she was trying to speak at a school, but they didn't let her because she was speaking because she was smelling like weed. And then a lot of times Sexy Red have been trying to be at schools and hospitals. So her this can speak to why she likes to do that, why she like, think that she trying to do the right thing by speaking to kids and going to hospitals and stuff, which make her controversial because of her personality of how she is. But her Jupiter in Pisces is why I can see that she likes to volunteer to speak at schools and do other things, and be charitable and things like that. So yeah, that's explained by her Jupiter in Pisces, and then we done already seen her be hypersensitive and emotional, like when she was on the Breakfast Club, she was being real sensitive to what's her name, Just Hilarious, talking about her, and then that's also gonna speak to her Venus and Pisces, and you know um fire signs is also sensitive and have a temper and stuff like that also. So that can be explained a lot by her Jupiter and Pisces. Her Saturn is at Aries. So Saturn is the planet of ruled by Capricorn, and it's the planet of hard work, discipline, and I believe karma. So I know that Aries does bad in Saturn because Aries don't deal good with rules and restrictions, and that's all that Saturn is about. Saturn is about being disciplined and teaching you the hard lessons in life. So a lot of people with Aries and Saturn is going to struggle with being disciplined, which I noticed. But it says that people with Saturn and Aries, the best quality of Saturn is a system, and the best quality of Aries is leadership. Therefore, Sexy Red can be a very capable leader, one who knows what to do and is not afraid of going out and doing it no matter what it takes or how long it takes. Combat and competitiveness stir Sexy Red on to greater achievement. Sexy Red's self-confidence is great, and she probably believes she is more capable than those around her. As a result, Sexy Red may wind up doing all the work, which may irritate her if she believes others are not doing their part. Saturn's worst quality is selfishness, and Aries' worst quality is interference with the plans of others. Therefore, Sexy Red is also capable of meddling and trying to run the affairs of others. Sexy Red may roughshod over them and trying to get them to do her will rather than their own. Sexy Red can be a real slave driver. Sexy Red dislikes restraint of any kind and does not take kindly to others telling her what to do. Remember this is Sexy Red. Remember this, Sexy Red gives the orders. Obstructions, frustrations, and limitations come into play in her pioneering self-starting efforts. Freedom comes only through responsibility and discipline, and patience can ruin all the good work she tries to do. Caution may need to be developed in carrying out her plans. Stability and security are important to Sexy Red, and she works with those thoughts in her mind. Feelings of being inadequate may stir Sexy Red on to tackle immersed undertakings in order to feel more valued or worthy. Stress from trying to accomplish too much may make her prone to headaches. Saturn and Aries call for her to be self-sacrificing. So, with this, how this relates to Sexy Red is that, basically, like she said, she gonna want to control things, and then like they said, she's not gonna like to be told what to do, which we know. She gonna like to do her own thing, and she gonna like to run things for the most part. It says that her impatience can ruin all the things that she do. So I could definitely see that, which is an Aries trait. Um, Then it says she could struggle with having headaches and always being tense, which I could see basically, being true with her, being tense all the time and being worked up a lot of times because that's associated with being Aries, having a quick temper and always being like tense. So, like a lot of Aries can be tense all the times and always like worked up and need to chill out. Next, her Uranus is in Aquarius. Uranus is ruled by Aquarius, and it's the planet of technology, friendships, shock, sudden events, change, forward thinking. So they stopped giving us a breakdown. So Uranus in Aquarius placement produces individuals who are innovative, progressive, and driven by a strong desire to contribute to society. They are the visionaries with the ability to foresee the future and initiate change. So that's deep. Yeah, innovative, progressive, and driven by a strong desire to contribute to society. They are visionaries with the ability to for sure foresee this future and initiate change. So that's definitely true with Sexy Red. Even though most people consider it in a negative way, but she have initiated like change when it comes to the ratchetness and the like being overly like, sexual and she's not the first one, like a lot of people like to say with Little Kim, but she definitely took it to another level. So that can be associated with her Uranus and Aquarius is that for the positive or the worst, depending on the person, they can initiate change and, you know, shift in society and affect society. So that's definitely what she had did with her music. She definitely have initiated change. Like I said, most people consider it in a negative way though, but it definitely have been a shock and like Uranus and Aquarius is ruled by shocking things and shocking events. So she definitely ruled, in control of that, being shocking and doing like, sudden and shocking things for sure. So that's her Uranus in Aquarius, which I could see a lot, but better or for worse. Her Neptune is also in Aquarius, and Neptune is ruled by Pisces, and it's the planet of dreams, illusions, and I believe the spiritual world is what Neptune is ruled, but it's mainly like dreams and illusions and stuff like that. So Neptune in Aquarius is uninhabited, intuitive, and nonconformist. They have a urge to improve the world through humanitarianism. Their great strengths include creativity, compassion, intellect, and dedication. And people born from 1998 to 2012 is going, so basically Gen Z's is going to be have a Neptune in Aquarius. And they said it's about activism and innovation. So creativity, compassion. So some of this I can see with sexy red, regardless, like I said, of the negativity, but I can see like the creativity and things like that. Her being creative. Like I said, she tried to be, I guess, a humanitarian, like I said, with her speaking to schools and trying to help people out and stuff like that. But, like the negativity of her, which mostly comes from her being a Aries with a Sagittarius moon and having um, what did I say her Mars was? Not per se her Mars and Taurus, but then her Mercury in Aries also is speaking to the negativity in her. But um her Neptune in Aquarius can speak to some of the positive, I guess, things about her and why she like creativity, like she creative, creative with the things that she do, even though it's in a negative way for the most part. Her Pluto is a Sagittarius. Pluto is ruled by Scorpio, and it's the planet of death and transformation and reinventing yourself. Is what Pluto rules. So Pluto and Sagittarius people are um optimistic, optimistic and sensitive, philosophical. Pluto is the planet of transformation and rebirth. When it's in expansive and adventurous Sagittarius, it imparts a drive for change in those born in this placement. So yeah, that's Pluto and Sagittarius. So it's gonna be somebody who optimistic and sensitive. It inspires change through adventures, being adventurous and expansive, which we could definitely, I guess, see in Sexy Red with her Pluto being in Sagittarius. So that explains why she, so outgoing and optimistic about things and, driven to change in a Sagittarius type of way, which is being, outgoing, impulsive, blunt, straightforward, and all of them type of things. Um, so yeah, that's Pluto and Sagittarius. So her North Node is in Virgo and her length is in Libra. So North Node is what you driven by in life. Like it could be your what life pushes you toward to do. Um, basically kind of it's a very important because it's kind of like your meaning in life, what you like driven to do. So North Node and Virgo, your life purpose is to develop healthy routines and embrace structure to achieve your goals. The North and South Node are always opposite signs. Your South Node is in Pisces. You're naturally compassionate, but need to set healthy boundaries to maintain your well-being. You might have a rich dream world, a vivid imagination, and a ton of creative ideas and ambitious goals. Your North Node represents your soul, is journeying toward in this lifetime. And your north node, south node represents the habits you need to overcome to reach your fullest potential. So this is basically saying that she's driven to she needs to embrace structure in her life to achieve her goals. So she might need to be better at being disciplined and, being structured in life because it's going to kind of conflict with her being, like I said, the Aries, because, Aries is not about being structured and having routines. It's about doing its own thing. But it's saying is that if she can learn healthy routines and if she could get structure in life, that can really help her in her life purpose, which I could see is that the one thing that's one of the things that Sexy Red is lacking, I guess, need to kind of discover and discover her life and be about it, being able to have structure and just not doing things all willy-nilly. And then it also said that she could be ambitious and have a lot of creative ideas, which I can also see also about her because she definitely is ambitious to get to where she want to go. And I can see the creativity with certain things that she do is creative, even though it's negative, it still is creative in her own way. And which like I said, Aries is about being creative and being your own person. So I can definitely see that with her North Node being in Virgo, some things she need to learn, but then also some of the stuff she does display. Her length is in Libra, so length is the hidden stuff that you don't want to show the world, the taboo side of you. The things that you don't want people to know about and the things that's hidden. So left in Libra craves harmony and balance in life, but sometimes you give in to your temptation. Venus rules Libra, which gives you strong feminine energy and makes you alluring to others. You attract new opportunities and relationships easy, and people admire your success. So basically, what this means, what she ashamed and don't like to show, which we can see a lot, is that she craves harmony and balance in life. So secretly, she wants to have a balance and good life and peace in her life, but that's what she don't like to show people. So a lot of her outgoing personality and negative personality can be like a defense mechanism to deflect, so people won't think that she's weak. That's what I'm mostly getting from this, that she don't want to show that she weak and that she craves balance and craves being nice and feminine like it shows. That could be the side, that's the side of her that she don't wants to show. So that's why she comes across a lot as being masculine and blunt and straightforward. So that's interesting also to think because this could speak to why she don't show her feminine energy and her positive and her nice side. It's because that's what's hidden to the world, and that's what she don't like showing people. She don't like showing people her soft side and her her feminine side. So that can be definitely explained with her lymph being in Libra. So that's something that she needs to learn to do because this is lymph is what you don't like to show people, but it is something that you should show people and learn to accept for the most part. So yeah, that's Sexy Red chart for the most part. Her rising is in Cancer. Cancer risers tend to be compassionate, empathetic, and loving. They are very sweet people, showing a willingness to extend their arms wide for a person in need. They provide a certain type of warmth that puts people at ease, even to their casual acquaintances. So that's how a lot of people can view her. So her fans and people who like her, I can see them viewing her in that way of her being, compassionate and empathetic and loving. And, some people view her as a sweet person as if you get to know her, I guess. And, that could be, I guess, some of the stuff that's a misconception about Sexy Red, also getting into her lymph and being in Libra. So basically what this is saying is that Sexy Red could be a sweet person, a good person deep down if you get to know her, but her outside, her, what she displays to the world is gonna be the opposite of that. So yeah, so Sexy Red not really known for dating nobody. I usually get into who people date, they relationships and all of that type of stuff. But Sexy Red hasn't really been linked to nobody famous. Like, all her baby daddies and people she dating been like people who not famous. So it's not nobody really for me to look up. I know she be hanging around Drake a lot. I know they just cool. I don't know how deep their relationship is, but we know Drake is a Scorpio, and like I said, Scorpio and Aries is both ruled by Mars. So even though it's a fire and water sign, so a lot of times they not gonna get along. Because fire and water, they put each other out, but then Aries and Scorpio can get along a lot because they both ruled by Mars. So they gonna have a lot of the same characteristics and traits to a certain degree, just like with Aquarius and Capricorn, both being ruled by Saturn, to a certain degree, Aquarius and Capricorns can get along a lot because they will display a lot of the same traits. But then at the end of the day, they not because it's air and earth. So the way that they think about things gonna be different. Earth signs gonna be more so, Capricorn's gonna be more so worried about being practical and material things and being steady in relationships. There where air signs like Aquarius is going to be more so dealing with like thinking and being free and like the thought and caring more so about communication and friendships and doing their own thing. And that goes to, like I said, Aquarius ultimately being ruled by Uranus, and then Scorpio ultimately being ruled by Pluto. So when it comes to Aries and Scorpio, they not gonna get along for the most part because Aries is gonna have they both aggressive, like I said, because Scorpio is aggressive with his feelings, like being emotional, and then Aries is aggressive with like, the way that it's act, the way that it speak and stuff like that. But they can butt heads because like water and like I said, water and fire put each other out, but then they both aggressive in their own different ways. So um that can be off-putting. Like, they can get into it a lot and get into a lot of arguments also, but then they also can connect on a lot of ways also. Like, it's like, tricky when you're talking about when you're talking about an Aquarius and a Capricorn, a Scorpio and a Aries, and then even a Libra and a Taurus, because they both ruled by Venus, can be tricky. Then even a Gemini and a Virgo, because that's an air sign and another earth sign. They both ruled by Mercury, but it's the air sign and then it's the earth sign, just like I said with Capricorn and Aquarius. So the way that they go about things gonna be different. Like Virgo is gonna be more so concentrated with stability and material things and working, versus like a Gemini and Aquarius, the air sign is gonna be more so concentrating on like being social and communicating and talking and being intellectual. So that's just some of the difference when it comes to like you know, two signs ruled by the same planet. But then, like I said, Drake is a Scorpio, so that's why they could get along for the most part, because they both, have similar traits, being ruled by Mars. Um, so yeah, that's it. Lastly, like I always do, I'm gonna look into some things about Sexy Red, some facts about her, some things we might not know about her. So Sexy Red got her stage name. Her nickname was Red in middle school because she used to dye her hair red and wear a lot of red garments. She added sexy when she uploaded one of her first songs to streaming platforms. When I started rapping, I didn't know what name I should use. And my cameraman was like, "What about Sexy Red? Because you're sexy and your name is Red." I'm like, "Okay, I like that." So, um, yeah, that's where she got her name from. She called herself the female Gucci man. Um, because she acted a lot like Gucci man. I fuck with Gucci back in the day. He used to wear big gold chains. He was just extra. He used to have a big watch, the crazy cars with the big arms and stuff like that. I'm extra like that too. I love all that kind of stuff. She is a mother. Sexy Red is a mom to one son named Chucky, and she just had another son, so now she got two, or a daughter. She just had another kid too, but she refers herself as Sexy Junior. He was born in 2020. So yeah, she a mother to two kids. Artists like Drake, Travis Scott, and Summer Walker has shown her love on social media. Infidelity in her relationship inspired her to start rapping. Sexy Red introduction to rapping happened in an unexpected way. According to the Missouri artist, she began rapping after catching her boyfriend with a lame cheating on her with a lame ass bitch. I made a diss song about him and the girl and her friends, because the friends be in on it too. So I was talking all this stuff about them. Rebuilt. So basically, she got into rapping because she made a diss song to her boyfriend that cheated on her. She found a lip gloss brand, and the different names are pretty interesting. So I guess she got a lip gloss brand with yellow discard, pussy hole pink, booty hole brown, a bunch of dumb, crazy names. Her career goal: expand into the beauty, fashion, and television industries. I want to get on TV. I want a makeup line. I want to sell clothes and hair. Sexy Red believes in aliens, ghosts, and other metaphysical creatures. So that's some of the things about Sexy Red. And then she was born in Missouri, like they just said. She was born in St. Louis, Missouri. So the same place that Nelly is from in the St. Lunatics. So that's where she from, the Midwest, unfortunately. Um, so yeah, that's Sexy Red for the most part. Like I said, all of this speaks to her personality. Like I done broke down the way that she is, just like it makes sense with her sun and moon sign both being in fire signs, why she's so fiery and outgoing. And like I said, with her Mercury being in Aries, everything speaks to her personality, her Venus being in Pisces, why she always choosing the wrong person and having problems in relationship like a lot of Pisces do. All of this is definitely speaks to her personality for sure. So it's another person, proving that astrology is real when you get into her personality. So yeah, that's Sexy Red. That's all I pretty much have to say about her. She her own person, like, love her or hate her. She got the Aries or Sagittarius personality to where she blunt and don't care what people think and straightforward. So that brings a lot of hate, but then it's a lot of people who like her because she unapologetically herself and, tell it like it is. So yeah, she definitely an Aries. Then some things that I noticed about Aries that relates to her, like a lot of Aries, like I said before in my video, a lot of Aries is skinny. A lot of Aries is like, a lot of Aries I know love to dye their hair. All the Aries women I know, like, they love to dye their hair. They love to put on makeup. They love to just do extravagant things. Like, that's a big Aries trait, which she also displays also. So yeah, that's Sexy Red. So yeah, shout out to all the Aries. We still in Aries season. So like I said, my next video is going to be on the Aries male. It's either going to be on Eddie Murphy or Martin Lawrence. I'm going to flip a coin on which one I want to do, I guess. So we going to move away from music and then get into Aries comedians. Because a lot of Aries are funny people and love to tell jokes. So look forward to that coming next. Either Martin Lawrence or Eddie Murphy gonna be the next video for Aries season. So that's it. I'm out. So y'all tell me what y'all think.